These are 7 secrets behind Sam Oven's $100 million empire. Sam started as a business failure with a few early ventures. So what took him from working a 9-to-5 to building a $100 million business in less than a decade? And how has he replicated that to make hundreds of millionaires? These lessons in here you can apply to any business. So how do you go from broke to building a $3 million a month cash cow? And I can promise you they are not what you are expecting. So here are the 7 secrets I learned directly from Sam that I myself have applied to make millions by the age of 21. So lesson number 1, finding a profitable traffic source is key. Sam catapulted his business from 7 to 8 figures by signing a joint venture with Tai Lopez. Now you probably have seen Tai Lopez from the infamous knowledge ad. We'll roll the clip.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills.
Tai Lopez built a massive customer base by selling this program called 67 Steps. And he told these people inside of this program to find a mentor. There was one problem though. They didn't have a way to fulfill that. They had never got a course or a coaching program from Tai, so they didn't have the in-depth training and guidance they were after. So rather than Tai going out and making a course himself, he got in contact with Sam and signed a joint venture with him. And Tai sent out emails to his list and directed him straight into Sam's webinar that was selling Consulting Accelerator. This joint venture made them about $2 million a month, and Sam's cut of that was 50%. So Sam's liquid net worth was going up $1 million every single month from traffic he didn't have to get himself. Tai would just send an email to his list and the floodgates of customers would come in. So the secret here is being able to bring enough people into your funnels to hit the numbers you're after. The problem is most people can't do that profitably. You see, they go to Facebook ads or YouTube ads, they don't really know how to run them, or their funnel doesn't really work and they can't bring those people in. By Sam signing this partnership with Tai, not only did he get enough customers coming in, enough traffic coming in, but he didn't have to pay for customers unless they were first customers. He wasn't risking money on Facebook or YouTube in order to get those customers, which allowed him to build a really solid business without that risk. But like anything, all good things come to an end, and Sam saw into the future and slowly saw the Tai Lopez partnership kind of trickling away as sales started dying down. Emails no longer made $100,000, it started making 50, and he knew the end was near. So Sam actually started learning Facebook ads, and Sam, by the time the partnership had completely dried up with Tai, he was making over $1 million a month with just Facebook ads. And at consulting.com's peak, they were able to make $3 to $5 million a month with just paid advertising. So even though that partnership had dried up, he still mastered a new traffic source. Again, most people do not get anywhere enough traffic to hit the numbers they're after. I see this all the time. They don't have funnels that can convert the traffic they're bringing into their funnels profitably, meaning they can't spend the money on ads they need to in order to get the results they're after.
Knowledge.
But after the partnership with Tai Lopez dried up, his model actually completely changed, because now no longer was he getting a fixed $1,000 for every $2,000 he made. He had to spend money on ads. And Sam, wanting to push his business far, did something that most people don't have the guts to do. And that's number 2, knowing your numbers and betting on them. Sam had brass balls at the peak of consulting.com because, are you laughing? Does that sound weird? Can't say it. Sam had brass. I already said his at the peak of consulting.com. Consulting Accelerator was a $2,000 program, and Sam was willing to break even on Consulting Accelerator in order to grow his customer base. He knew that if he made a 20% margin on day one cash, meaning if he spent $1,000, he made back $1,200, he would break even after fees and refunds. So Sam got as many customers as he could possibly acquire at that 20% margin, spending millions of dollars on ads, but getting tons and tons of customers because he had other programs like Up-Level Consulting for $5,800 and Quantum Mastermind for $36,000 a year. So if he could get 10 to 15% of those people from Accelerator to upgrade into Up-Level, he would make a very healthy profit on the back end. Not to mention all the people he would sell into Quantum at $36,000 a year at a max capacity of 100 people. That's $3.6 million a year in free profit, all because he acquired these customers on the front end at a break-even margin. So Sam took the bet and he built a massive lead list for his higher end offers for the years to come. And this is still paying dividends today because now Sam is running his SaaS, Skool.com, for $99 a month. So a lot of these people that he acquired years ago are now paying him $99 a month, and he's building a software company out of it. So if you can build a customer list and continue to serve them, you will always have profit available. This has also been done by people like Russell Brunson, but the key here is knowing your numbers. If you don't know how much you can spend and still break even, you're never going to be able to throw your weight around with people like Sam Ovens or Russell Brunson, because they know their numbers. And they also have great LTVs. They can spend the money because they know they're going to get ascension sales down the road. And that's exactly what Sam Ovens did. Which brings me to my third point. Secret number 3, mastery and less is more. Sam believes less is more, and that more often than not, businesses will actually grow by removing things rather than adding them, which is kind of counterintuitive to what most people think and really what most people do. A lot of entrepreneurs have ADHD, myself included, where you want to constantly add things, a new funnel, a new advertising platform, all these new things, new products, new offers, etc., etc. But it's really to our own demise because we're not that good at anything, right? If you just continually try new things, you never make a lot of progress in one area. Sam did the exact opposite. Rather than doing 2 ad platforms, he did 1. Rather than having 20 products, he had 3. So he was able to get really, really good at one business and turn that business into a $36 million a year business, right? He knows that if you're trying to do 20 things and he's doing 1, he's going to get so much better and beat you every single time. He learned this from Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and I'll put a little graphic here of what Sam preaches. If you see this little graph of energy, everyone has a certain amount of it, right? We have, say, 24 hours in a day. We have a certain amount of, focus and attention we can put towards things. And most people split that up so many different directions, right? They have 10 businesses, they have 10 products for each business, they have 10 different funnels for each business, and they're not really getting anywhere. Whereas Sam wants to put all his attention, all his energy in one area and make a lot more progress. And you'll be pretty surprised what that ultimately made him do later in the video. And although this secret doesn't really apply to everyone, I think literally 95% of businesses would benefit from taking things out and focusing more. And Sam learned this from personal experience, because not only did he build this to a $3 million a month business, he did that with only 3 products that all benefited the next one. So you focus on one value ladder to one type of customer with one business, really one traffic source, one main funnel, one team, and so on and so forth. And he got really, really good at it. In 2022, Sam also launched a program called WeTube. He made a lot of money off it, but he ultimately closed it down to focus more on Skool. And this ultimately led him to close down Quantum Mastermind, which was over a $3 million a year profit generator for him, but he closed it down for the sake of focus, even though it only took him about 2 weeks a year of work for $3 million. But he said no because he knew he needed to focus. So while many other online gurus are saying yes, 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 pursuing new products, pursuing new offers, pursuing new advertising platforms, telling you about the latest new thing, Sam is saying no. He's filtering down, he's constantly removing stuff, and he's getting better at what he wants to be the best at. You can take a lesson from his book, apply that, and get a lot better at just one thing. Secret number 4, micro optimizations lead to massive results. Now, I wouldn't say this is characteristic of Sam now, but it definitely was of consulting.com at their peak. So Sam ran an automated webinar. He called it the 2KA webinar. It was for a consulting accelerator at their peak, and this thing was pumping out millions of dollars. So people would come into this webinar and they'd go through this funnel, they'd watch this presentation, and they'd get offered an accelerator at the end of the webinar for $2,000. Sam obsessed over this thing. He looked at headlines and payment plans and different things, literally down to everything inside of this funnel to make it convert as much as possible, which ultimately allowed him to spend as much on ads as possible to get as many customers as possible to be able to sell them on other programs in the future, right? This goes back to focus, and this goes back to knowing your numbers and betting on them. Sam really obsessed over these things, and he got really, really good at them so that he could scale them really far. Through this, Sam learned what mattered and what didn't. He became a really good marketer and learned how to speak directly to the people that he was marketing to and create offers and products and marketing that made their mouths water. And this is evident because it's easy to make, a funnel that converts pretty good one time, but it's very hard to make home run funnel after home run funnel after home run funnel. But Sam was able to stay at 8 figures year after year after year by obsessing over these things, optimizing them, and becoming really good at marketing to his customers. Secret number 5 is building a compounding customer base. So Sam built this program instead of consulting accelerator called Refer a Friend, where he would give people $500 off if they got referred from a friend, and that friend that referred them would also get $500 in cash for referring him. What this did was build a compounding effect on his advertising, because if he got a new customer, that customer might refer somebody else, and Sam would keep that $1,000, right? Very similar to how he would with Ty Lopez, and he continued to get more and more customers this way. Within the first 18 months of this program, Sam paid out over $1 million in commissions for referrals, meaning he made an additional $1.5 million in profit on top of that he kept in just 18 months. That's not a bad boost in profit for setting something up one time and then just managing it as you go. Not to mention it had that compounding effect like I mentioned. So the more referrals got more referrals, got more referrals, got more referrals. And this worked really well for a couple other reasons as well. This got him free marketing because people were talking about him online, posting articles, YouTube videos, posting good reviews, just more good press out there, as well as this kind of grew his LTV as well, right? He could spend more on ads because he knew a certain set of these people would refer people, right? And they'd bring in more revenue, so he could play the game even further. And this compounding effect actually brings me to my sixth secret, which is great products create flywheels. Sam was obsessed with his customers. He knew that if he created great products, it would serve him for years to come. And it's very true. If you've been inside Sam's courses, you know the attention to detail, the coaching is all top part, right? While so many people inside of this industry do not care about their customers, they make up, a product in a week and then they spend all their time marketing and selling it. Sam did quite the opposite. He spent months and months engineering products that got results, and it shows. And Sam talked about this concept called the flywheel, where when you push on something, it continues to spin, and every push adds more momentum that makes it spin faster and faster and faster. And you see this inside of his business, where he creates a great product, and when he gets a customer to that great product, they get great results. And then because they get great results, they refer somebody, and when they refer somebody, that person comes in, they get great results, and it just continues to spin and spin and spin. So Sam thought about his efforts in this way, but how he could make everything work like a flywheel, where he could continue to make it spin faster the more he did. That way, it started snowballing down the mountain, rather than every single month him having to put more and more effort in order to get it bigger and bigger. It just grew by itself. One of the other ways this really helped Sam is that everyone knew he was the best. There's this YouTuber, you've probably seen him, his name's Alex Becker. He has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and somebody asked him one time on a YouTube video, who is the best at teaching consulting, or where should I learn consulting? And he said, hands down, Sam Ovens is the best if you want to learn consulting. Sam told me that video alone, that comment alone, made him over $1 million that month. So there's so many things that, people start talking about you, right? I remember Russell Brunson talked about him, one of his funnel secrets things, and that got Sam business as well, right? These things, people talk about you when you create great products, and then that is a flywheel effect that compounds, and Sam's businesses grow without him having to do anything. So by creating great products, Sam's growth was way easier, right? He wasn't always swimming upstream, just month after month trying to grow his business. It started growing for him, which brings me to secret number 7, profit first. Now, I have to admit, this is not something that Sam always knew. This is something that he would tell you he was very bad at in the beginning. He grew his business, like we've talked about, to $3 million a month in revenue. But you'd probably be surprised to know that of that $3 million, only $250,000 of it was profit, meaning that he was running all of these ads, he was getting all of these customers, he was, hiring all these people, doing all of this stuff to only take home $250,000 a month, which I know might seem like a lot, but off of $3 million worth of work, it's not really that much. When Sam thought about this, he realized he could scale back, focus more on the customers, focus more on the products rather than the marketing, focus on profit, and make more money. He scaled back to around $10 to $15 million a year and was profiting more than he was at $36 million a year. So he switched his focus from revenue to profit. And this switch eventually allowed him to focus on other things and make WeTube. So Sam started pursuing profit over revenue, but this actually recently changed because Sam gave up Quantum, refunded his entire mastermind, gave up $3.5 million a year in profit to pursue Skool. Because again, he knows if he puts all of this energy towards one area, it'll outperform everyone who splits all of their energy all over the place. So he refunded his mastermind and he's focusing on Skool exclusively, which you can see how in all these ways he's came back full circle to focus on things, to outperform, to optimize, to be obsessed, and to try and master things, right? He's pursuing goals and he's saying, hey, I don't need these vanity numbers. I don't need these profit numbers. I don't need these revenue numbers. I just want to build a business that is customer focused and gets great results because I know down the road that flywheel effect will kick in and I'll make the money that I would have made otherwise and more so, right? I'll be able to have that compounding effect. So these are the 7 lessons I learned from Sam Ovens and watching him build a $100 million empire. If you like this video, here's another one I made about Quantum Mastermind and the lessons I learned from there, which are different than the ones in this video. So check that video out. And if you like this video as well, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.